Hi everyone, welcome to my May channel update. Sorry, I've been away for a bit. A couple of things have changed, mostly because I had to do them, not because I really wanted to do them, or more accurately, not that I really had a choice, sort of thing. So as you all know, that I'm actually a housebound, but over the last 2 months, so pretty much April and May, I've actually had to leave the house and travel abroad out of the United Kingdom. I had to go and sort out some paperwork in another country, and whilst I was there, my uncle passed away. So that was a very strange, a very weird time for me, because I'm not really that type of person that kind of does well at, passing aways. So I was quite sort of, traumatized by that. And then there was a lot of paperwork involved with his passing away, and you can imagine all that stuff with family and so on. Luckily, my family's quite good together. So, but when the family actually has to go out and face the public records offices and so on, and banks and lawyers and all that stuff, we managed to get it sorted. But it was just sort of it wasn't something that we really wanted to do, but kind of had to do. So I was kind of just supporting my cousins and so on. God bless them. They did all the work. I really couldn't help them in terms of physically going out to all the offices, but I phone calls and so on that I could help with. I tried. So that was a bit of a very, very tough time. And then when my uncle passed away, literally 2 days before that, I received a call from the UK that my house in the UK when I was away had been robbed. So my uncle here in the UK managed to come round and sort of get the house boarded up and so on and so forth. Luckily, they didn't manage to take away anything, because the rooms inside were sort of locked, securely locked. But they cut out the entire window frame of the kitchen, so that was quite a lot of damage, and there's quite a lot of damage in the kitchen now. So that's quite a big headache now, that I have to have all the builders come in and stomp around the house and rebuild a lot of part of the kitchen, and the kitchen door and the entire window frame needs to be built and all that mess. So after all that, about 27 days, I think I was away for I travelled for about 27 to 32 days. I had actually intended to go on to different countries, but I actually ended up staying in one and then just making my base there, and because I have a house there as well, so I just kind of based myself there. I just got so sort of stressed and tired that I didn't sort of carry on with the rest of my trip. I just sort of did everything from the internet and phone calls there. But I got to meet my cousins who live out there and so on, so that was quite nice. But unfortunately, my uncle passed away. God bless him. But it's just one of those things that you have no control over. But I still hate passing aways. I really hate them. So yeah, that was the kind of update for what's happened in the last sort of April and May. Now I think May is the 27th of May. I think today. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, Friday 27th of May. So going forward, I'm back. I'm back in the UK. I'm back in my lab. I started my research yesterday. I started my work back again yesterday, and my head started to kind of like refocus on my work and my research, and I kind of felt mentally and physically a bit better, as if I had a bit more energy inside. In terms of my medical condition, I feel a little bit better actually, but I mean I still have mobility problems and I still have a lot of pain. So the diabetes, the diabetic neuropathy, and the MS and so on, and the other muscle wastage in my around my knees and my legs, and a little bit in my arms as well, upper arms, is sort of still there, and that hurts a lot. But it's just one of those things. I mean, I really can't moan about it because there are, millions of people that are worse off than I am. So I am the last person who should moan about anything. I feel quite privileged anyway. So, yeah. So I'm back, and I will be doing some more videos. Yesterday I wanted to cheer myself up, and actually there was one good event that I should mention that during all when I came back I've been back about 10 days, maybe 10, 11 days. I went to my best friend's wedding where I was his best man. And the funny thing was that I didn't know I could make it because it was a train journey and it was quite hectic to get there. So he only found out that he would actually have a best man at 6:30 a.m. because I was actually ready by 6:29 and I was about to leave the home, and I just got my phone and I sent him a BBM message that hi mate, I'm on my way, would that be okay? And he was like jumping out, he's just saying, yeah, of course, you're the best man. So it was quite fun actually. I really had a really good time, and it was actually the first sort of wedding I've actually been on, and first time I've been a best man really. And it was quite sort of rejuvenating because I met a lot of people that I've never met before, and they just sort of embraced me really well, and it was just sort of such a welcoming and such a happy atmosphere that it just kind of is really good for my brain. So yeah, that was a really good thing, and I want to share that with you. And then secondly, being back in the lab and starting my research, and I'm feeling a little bit better. So all that yesterday, a couple of days ago, I ordered another watch. Not an expensive watch, don't worry, I didn't spend like £8 on a Rolex or anything. I've been looking for a stopwatch type, the old type of horse racing chronographs, the pocket watches chronographs. So I found one which is not only a chronograph, but it also has a time and date feature, but also maintains the uniqueness of a single record stopwatch. And it comes on a strap, but you can take it off and hold it as a normal stopwatch. So that's a fantastic thing that arrived yesterday. It's made in Germany. It arrived from my Italian supplier because he supplies them around the EU and so on. And I was really happy. I've opened it, I've had a play around with it, and I was so happy with that. That was sort of the third thing that I wanted to share that kind of really cheered me up. And the fourth thing, just sort of being back on YouTube and just speaking to friends online and family. And I'm starting to become a lot more sort of sociable via Skype and via BBM and so on. So that was quite a nice experience. I do like Skype. I really like Skype because I'm still sort of 95%. I say before going I was probably like 98%. Now I'm like 95% housebound. So still a long way to go, but it's kind of going in the good way. But I'm not sort of jumping for joy just yet because I don't want to get overexcited about anything and then start being negative. So I'm sort of just homeostasis, as Penny would say from The Big Bang Theory. So what else? Yeah, I'm going to do a video on my new watch. I'm going to do a video on I'm tool crazy, so I did take tools with me, and I did actually get to use them because I have a house out there, so I wasn't staying in a hotel. So yes, I did take tools with me, and I did get to use them, and I'll show you the good side and the pros and cons of them and so on. And what else? I really want to do a passenger air travel hotel stay, kind of like departures, kind of tourist visit, passenger kind of thing, a sort of an airport travel kind of video with just some sort of tips and advices on things that I find that usually are not covered by other people. And as you probably know from the host of other videos, that I am by no means a minimalist, and that usually comes from I don't like calling my work or my job. It's sort of who I am. I like doing it. For me, it's not going to work. It's not going to a job, and not because I'm housebound, but because even when I used to go out mainly to the university and to the university lab and so on, it was for me. It was just going. It was doing something that I love, and I'm happy in this. Even if if, for example, they said to me, well, we can't pay you, but can you still do the work? Can you, still do the quote-unquote work? I'd say, yeah, definitely. I don't really care. So for me, I'm really happy with what I do in my research work. So yeah, the travel videos, and I also want to do a video on clothing, because a lot of minimalist videos and a lot of travel packing videos aim to be minimalist, to travel light. But I don't travel light, and I always find that area is never covered. And I feel that my area, the reason I want to cover this area is because it would benefit people who are starting out their career. So say a 25-year-old forward kind of thing for both ladies and gentlemen, who actually, they can't turn up when they travel. They can't turn up at a meeting in shorts and a t-shirt, or they have to have they can't just not wash their hair for like a week or so. They have to be trimmed and neat and tidy, and use perfume and wear beautiful dresses and suits and so on, because that's the type of work they're in. Even as scientists, engineers, you do have to be well dressed when you go to the lab and so on. So especially when you go to a presentation. And not only for fellow scientists and engineers, but also for business people like accountants, or maybe young lawyers traveling from city to city because they have a new job, which multinational legal firms tend to sometimes send out their new lawyers to different parts of the world, wherever they have offices and so on. You get the idea. So young professionals. And they can't just turn up in the office in jeans and t-shirts and so on. So they can't travel minimalistic, and sometimes they just have to travel with a good suitcase, with a well-stocked suitcase. So shirts, dresses, blouses, suits, tuxedo, a black dress, a white dress, maybe heeled shoes, maybe flats, or polished brogue shoes, or just running shoes or trekking shoes, as when you're out of the office. So I'd like to cover that area very much, because I've seen a lot of videos over the last couple of years on that area, but it kind of really splits into two very different areas. One being take one suit and a little carry-on, or the other being take a t-shirt, underwear, and a pair of trainers, and a pair of jeans, or a pair of running shorts, or a pair of non-wrinkle free trousers or something like that, and it kind of becomes very, very individualistic. But I often feel that for young professionals it doesn't work. And I've actually been speaking to a fellow scientist who because she's not unhealthy like me, so she's doing her stuff and she travels abroad to a lot of other countries, and she has to she's from England, but she has to appreciate and acclimatize to other local cultures, the way of dressing, especially as she's a lady. So, and I mean, other gentlemen have to as well. But I'm just sort of highlighting that sometimes when you go abroad and in a sort of a professional environment, you have to acclimatize. So wearing skimpy clothing, which might be okay in, say, in the US for a work area, might not be. I mean, not skimpy, but like tighter sort of clothing. You could get away with maybe in the US, but maybe in sort of like towards the Middle East, or some other countries like the Far East, or India, or Pakistan, or Bangladesh, or even China and Japan, where a little bit of modesty is required. So instead of wearing like a half sleeve blouse, you probably might have to wear a full sleeves blouse, or so wearing a half sleeve shirt, you might be expected to roll your sleeves down at certain times of the day. And so on. So just blending in, it's good not to offend other people's cultures. And I often find that people sort of, without knowing it, do, but don't sort of correct their error. You can make an error. Everyone makes errors. God knows everyone makes errors. But you must learn from errors. You can make errors 100 times, but you must sort of learn 101, 110 times. So I just want to cover that kind of area. And I hope that helps. So yeah, thank you for listening to my channel ramble. I should probably change that update word. And thank you very much for the interactions, and I look forward to further interactions with you. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you on following videos. Thank you.